Alright, so nagbabalik tayo sa ating violin tips and tricks. And for today's video, let's talk about the easiest scales or key signatures that you could learn within the violin, no? If you want to learn basic songs, no pop songs or easy tunes na gusto nyong matutunan if you are starting out. Yan. So, when we talk about kasi key signatures, no, yung mga fingerings ng daliri natin, saan pupunta yung mga daliri, and how fast you could actually learn them, no, na hindi naman siya technically shortcut, but it's an easy way to step into playing the instrument, no. Of course, kailangan maayos din yung bowing, maayos yung fingerings, no, maayos yung posture ng ating hands, but yung pag-aaral ng mga pyesa, no, it comes to this point na, bakit yung mga una nating mga pieces, ganito yung key signatures na kinakalabasan nila and why that happens. Okay, so first things first, when we talk about key signatures, no, or scales na pagbabasihan natin, it's not necessarily yung pinaka madali in terms of yung pag-writing, no. For example, hindi pinakamadaling key yung C major when we talk about the violin. Why? Kasi even though there are no sharps, no flats, di ba? So sa piano, you're just playing all white keys with C major or A minor. But on the violin, that would have quite a complicated set of fingerings na kailangan mong gawin, no? So for example, sa C major, no? If we do a C major scale starting on the low G, kung mag-start tayo sa G string, so, di ba? Ganito yung position. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. So, meron na agad extension na mangyayari. And then, the finger positions, medyo magkakaiba sila from G string to D string to A string, no? Mag-iiba-iba. So, C major is technically not the hardest key to learn a song in, no? Sa violin, but it's not really the easiest. So, ano ba yung mga madadaling key signatures, no? So, usually, we start with A major. Bakit A major? Usually kasi, when we talk about a good scale or a good key signature to start with, we always think of open strings, okay? So, ano ba yung mga open strings natin? G string, D string, A string, and E string, no? So, if your key signature or your scale has those notes, mas madali siyang tugtugin. Kasi, if you are a beginner, you would rely a lot on your open strings, no? So, ano ba yung mga pwede matugtugin? So, let's say A major, di ba? Yung Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, we base it on A major dito sa violin, no? Using that, yung fingering kasi ng A major, if you are going to play, let's say 1 octave scale lang naman yung tono ng tutugtugin mo. So, it would look like this on the A string and the same on the E string. Diba? So, yung scale na yun, no, 1 octave scale, you can play a lot of things with those, let's say, 8 notes na yun, no? Yung 8 nota na yun. Marami ka nang pwede matugtog. So, you can go down, but it becomes a little bit more complicated. But, again, yung fingering ng G and fingering ng D string is the same. So, G and D string parehas, A and E parehas. So, mas madali talaga siyang aralin. Another key is, of course, D major. Yung sa katabi lang, di ba? So, D major. So, A and D string, halos parehas lang sila ng magiging finger positions. So, hindi ka na masyadong mahihirapan maghanap ng mga nota na kailangan mo, no? So again, simple tunes and simple songs lang, no? If you just want to learn a song while you're studying, no? Kumbaga purely beginner ka pa lang, no? Yun, mas mapapadali yung pag-aaral mo. And it would cover a lot of bases, no? Yung A major scale, D major scale. Now, if we look at it theoretically or yung pagkakasulat niya, hindi siya yung pinakamadali because there's a lot of sharps, no? A major has 3 sharps, D major has 2 sharps. So, medyo mukha siyang mahirap when it's written down, but yun nga, mas madaling tandaan yung itsura ng fingers, especially yung posture ng left hand mo. Hindi pa bago-bago with regards to other keys. Now, I think the best starting point if wala ka talagang alam tapos nag-aaral ka ng mga songs is G major. Why? Because it covers the whole set of strings, no, hanggang E, no, na hindi ka mag-change talaga. I mean, you have changes in position, but it's easy to remember. So again, G major, so you start with an open string, no, open G, and then you do this. Ito yung magiging fingering mo. Magkahiwalay yung second and first finger on the G string, on the D string, the same. Now, on the A and on the E string, yun, magkapareha. So, G and D parehas, A and E parehas. So, you're technically covering 2 octaves, no? More than 16 notes, no? You can cover until dito, no? Pwede ka tumugtog ng high B or C sa taas with the G major scale as well. So, with that being said, try mong maghanap ng mga pyesa na nandun sa mga keys na yan, no? G major, D major, A major. Yung E major, sasabihin nila, oh, may open string na E. But it would be quite complicated because your starting point is already here. No? Of course, may E sa ibang lugar, but E major would look like this, no? Ganyan yung magiging itsura, magkakahiwalay-hiwalay sila. So, it would be a little bit more difficult to remember and understand if you are purely a beginner na gustong mag-aral nga ng mga kanta. No? So, yun yung makahanapin yung key. G major, D major, A major. No? So, pagdating naman sa minor, syempre yung relative minor lang din nun. G major, you want to look for yung mga E minor na pieces, no? 1 sharp, no? So, again, D major, ganun din. B minor na mga pieces. So, sa A, ganun din. Hanap lang din kayo ng mga pieces that is relative to that, no? So, A major, relative minor na. So, hanapin nyo. F sharp minor, mga ganun. No? So, it's not necessarily going to be smooth, especially kung hindi pa rin talaga kayo marunong tumugtog. But, you know, trying to find pieces that are possible, no? Especially kung ngayon bago-bago ka pa lang, medyo nabobore ka dun sa mga inaaral mong mga pieces, no, while you have lessons, no? Of course, if you have a teacher, you should consult your teacher. Ano ba yung mga pyesa na kaya nyo nang tugtugin? But if you are studying on your own, yun, magandang guide para mas mapadali din yung ma-practice yung sight reading mo, note reading skills, no? Kasi of course, usually kapag naghanap tayo ng pieces online, wala naman yung proper fingerings dyan kasi they don't usually make solo violin pieces, especially for pop songs, di ba? Usually, ang babasahin mo dyan is a lead sheet. So, yung lead sheet, wala yung proper fingering. So, you have to also figure that out. So, ano ba yung mga prerequisites if you want to learn a specific song, no? So, of course, you have to at least have an idea of how the scale of each song works, no? Kasi all the notes that you are playing are also part of the scale that you need to know. So, if you are playing a G major piece, you have to not necessarily master, but be familiar with how the G major scale works. Paano mo siya tutugtugin? Not just on the left hand, no? But also on the quality of sound that you can produce with it. No? Siyempre, kung tutugtog ka sa G string, hindi naman pwede hindi maganda yung bowing mo kasi hindi lalabas na maganda yung tunog sa G string mo. So, same thing on your E string. If you're playing on the E string, kailangan okay din kahit papano sound yung foundations na meron ka, no? So, it doesn't need to be perfect, but if learning, you know, pop songs, simple tunes na available online or songs that you want to really play would help speed up your progress kasi syempre mas gaganahan ka tugtugin yung mga yan, then just go and find those pieces, no? But yun nga, ito yung mga madadaling key. Of course, you can find key signatures that are also easy for you, no? Yung iba, let's say mga modal yung dating, so baka kailangan mag-adjust din ng fingerings, no? So those types of things. And another disclaimer is, of course, hindi porke G major yung pyesa mo, lahat lang ng nota na yun lang yung tutugtugin mo. Of course, there would be some added, you know, minsan magkakaroon ng do sharp, minsan magkakaroon ng re sharp, but But the premise is you have to have this understanding of how the scale works in order for you to be able to play these pieces. No, minsan kasi nagiging a little bit complicated din. No? So yun. So sana nakatulong tong video na to. If you do have questions, please comment down below. And of course, more content you'd like to see, just hit me up in the comment section down below. This has been Ryan Monakil for Violin Tips and Tricks. And I'll see you on the next video.